Alrighty, we've got all 8 exhaust seats pressed in. The next step is to machine these seats with 3 angles for the new valves that we're going to use. Now we use a 3-angle cutter, and the first thing we need to do is determine where on the face of the valve we want the seat to contact the valve. And we do that with this fixture here. We like to put the seat contact area in about the 3rd, 4th of the face of the valve. If we were to take this face and divide it into 4 parts, starting from the inside moving outward, we'd like to have it in about the 3rd, 4th, and that way we get optimal flow out of the port. And also, you never ever want the edge of the seat on the corner of the valve. That could cause valve burning. So we've got this set, we know where we want it. We've got our 3-angle tool bit in the tool holder. We're all set up. We transfer the dimension from the valve to the tool. This is all adjustable. I've already done that off camera. So we're all set to do this. And we'll see if the camera can pick up the 3 angles on the blade. We've got 1, 2, and 3. In this instance, we're going to use a 30. The 45 is the contact, and the throat angle is going to be a 60. So we'll put this into the machine, we'll center up, and we'll make a cut and double check our work. And this is kind of similar to what we did for installing the seat rings. Get into the guide and center up, and we'll float the head for a 6 count. Lock everything down, and now we'll start making our initial cut. We've already sharpened the tool bit, which is really important when we're using hardened seats like this. We want a nice clean cut. So we'll go ahead and get started. And we'll go here just till we get our 45 cut in, and then we can double check our work, make sure of our position on the valve. We cut just until we get our 30 starting, and then we know the position of the 45. Now we've already set this with a fixture, but we're going to go ahead and double check our work with some bluing and know if we're right where we should be. Quick, easy way to do this is we go ahead and put a little bluing on our valve. This is kind of a paste, it's not a liquid. Put a couple of spots. We can drop the valve into the guide, and as we drop the valve we can spin it, pick it out, and this is going to tell us exactly where we're at. And as you can see, we're right at the edge. That's where we want to be. We got a little bit of valve showing, and we're in a good place. So now we can go ahead and finish up. What we're going to do next, we have a dimension that we've looked up in our database. We know how long the valve has to be on the other side of the head, and we've got a dial indicator set up to check that. So we know our position of the valve face is correct, the valve seat is correct. Now we'll go ahead and check this from the other side, from the spring side of the head. and we know we need to go about another 15 thousandths or so. And what we're going to do is similar to machining the counter bores. We're going to put this back in. We like where the valve is positioned, and we're going to go ahead and bottom out. Now we're hard on the seat. We'll change our dial indicator up here, our depth indicator, and then we know we need to take about another 15 thousandths. So here we go. We'll speed up the cutter a little bit. It gives us a little nicer finish for the final cut, and we'll go ahead and take our 15 thousandths. Alright, as you can see, the seat cut a little nicer with speed. Now we can take our tool out. We'll double check our depth of the valve. Alright, we'll wipe our bluing off. Drop the valve into the seat. Go ahead and check the depth on the other side. And we are right where we want to be. Right in the middle of the spec. Our database tells us we want to be 2 inches 110 thousandths to 2 inches 140 thousandths, and we're coming in at 2 inch 125. So we're right in the center, right where we want to be. Now all we need to do is cut 4 more seats. Now that we see about where we need to be, we can do all the other seats exactly the same. We can use this one as a reference, and we'll know where we're at. Alright, we'll float down here, center up on this seat. Do our 6 count as we always do. Takes about 6 seconds for the workhead here to center up on the center line of the guide. And here we go. First little bit that we do is just kind of roughing the seat in, getting everything about where it should be. They come out, we'll clear some of the chips out of the way. We'll take the tool out. We'll check our depth, just like we did before. We'll figure out where we need to be. We'll use the same valve so we know the dimension is going to be the same. Drop that on the seat. Give a quick measure, and we're right about where we started before. We know we need to take about another 15 thousandths, and that'll put us right in the center where we want to be, and we'll go ahead and do that. Same thing once again. We go hard against the seat. Set our dial indicator up here on the top. And change our speed a little bit. And finish up the seat. Alright, that puts us where we want to be. Now, we'll do the other 2 seats. We'll double check our valve length and then move on. Alright, drop drop the valve in. And we are within about 1,000th of where the first seat was. So we're dead on good. And we'll do the other two seats. We'll go ahead and do the other head, and then I'll bring you back and show how we set up for the intake seat and essentially do the same thing.